Let's speak about King Charles. He greeted 4 British veterans of the Korean War ahead of a palace reception to mark the 70th anniversary of the conflict. The monarch was pictured standing in the 18th century room as he held the audience at Buckingham Palace on Tuesday. Josh, what more can you tell us about this?
Well, there were a number of veterans in the room. We're seeing on screen now the pictures released by Buckingham Palace to show that His Majesty the King, he's up, he's about, he's greeting veterans, he's smiling, he's engaged there. We see a group of 5 men in the room at one point. So he is seeing small groups of people as he's undergoing treatment for cancer. We don't know quite what cancer it is just yet, of course. But this is once again a positive development. We're seeing we're seeing His Majesty King Charles, I should say, up and about, greeting veterans, holding mini receptions. There was a reception held in Buckingham Palace afterwards by Princess Anne, the Princess Royal, and I believe Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, as well afterwards, as well, a much bigger reception, which we know that Prince Charles that His Majesty King Charles was saddened not to attend. But again, this is a very positive development. We're seeing pictures of him up and about, greeting, mingling, partaking in royal engagements. They might not be the most front-facing, they might not be public in terms of large crowds, but we are seeing him undertaking the business of state. So this is a very good sign, and it just shows His Majesty's devotion to serving the people of not just the United Kingdom but also the Commonwealth. In his role, it shows that same devotion to service that his late mother, her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, showed in what she did. And we know that, bearing in mind, we know that she was working right up until the last days of her life. It's actually been reported by various biographers, even at her bedside when she died, there was a red box waiting for her. So, we're seeing His Majesty the King really showing that true devotion to service as he is undergoing what may just be the biggest battle of his life right now.
And it is brilliant to see him out and about, and we'll, of course, just like we're sending our best wishes to Princess Catherine, sending our best wishes to King Charles as well. Finally, Josh Rom, we've spoken a bit about the media buzz about Catherine, the Princess of Wales, and now there's more information. There's allegedly a photoshopping a second picture. This time it's of the late Queen with her great-grandchildren. What can you tell us about this revelation?
Yeah, so this is a picture of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II with some of her grandchildren and also her great-grandchildren, of course. And we see it's a rather late picture of her later on in life, but Reuters have pointed out that there are at least not 4, as might be highlighted in that photo by the production team, but actually there may be up to 8 alterations that were amended to this photo. So we know that this was a photo of Her late Majesty the Queen, released in 2022 by Princess Catherine and her husband Prince William. It said that this portrait was taken by Princess Catherine as well. And I mean, far from the conspiracy theories that we've seen on the internet, what this actually might show, a pattern, not even by the palace, but actually there is a pattern that which stands up Princess Catherine's statement where she apologized for the confusion with the editing of the photograph, the Mother's Day photo, as you can see on screen, but actually the previous photo as well was reportedly taken by her and subsequently released by the palace. So what this does, it shows that there is a pattern that stands with the statement that Princess Catherine, in her capacity as an amateur photographer, may have made some edits to several photographs that she has taken and that the palace have subsequently released, seeming to signify that there is no big conspiracy theory here. There's nothing really under the surface going on. It's simply an amateur photographer undergo at trying to edit and improve her own amateur photographs that she's taken. Lovely photographs with inconsistent edits. And we know that she's an amateur photographer. We're not expecting her to be a professional photographer because she's so busy, usually with her royal duties. But this shows a pattern of behavior by the palace. It might pull into question the palace's reputation as a reputable source, and we may wonder going into the future what other photographs may be doctored or may be edited. And I think the palace, there are lessons to be learnt here by the palace, not to edit any photos going into the future, or at least if photos are edited, they need to make it clear that photos may or may not have been doctored. But at the same time, that might make them look slightly unprofessional, that they would want to put out doctored photographs. I mean, we are really living in truly unprecedented times here. We know that Prince William and Prince Charles have wanted, we know that Prince William and King Charles have wanted to not just strip down the monarchy, but modernize the monarchy. We're living in a digital age. They want to have a front-facing monarchy that is fit and adaptable for a modern age, but with that comes other responsibilities that the institution might not have previously taken into account. So I think the palace might really have to take a look at themselves going into the future of how they operate in this modern age.
Absolutely. Well, they can't do this again where they're throwing the Princess of Wales under the bus for her editing. I think the palace has a lot to learn from the controversy that we have seen over the past couple of weeks. Josh Rom, thank you so much for making the time to speak with us here on Power Hour. Great to speak with you.
Great to speak with you too, Gabriella. Thanks so much for having me as always.